ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know me, I'm Max Capital. I am a risk manager and a performance coach in the financial markets. Some of you guys know my story. If you don't, probably gonna hear more about it on the upcoming podcast, Mind the Risk. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. So I just want to give a shout out to a couple of people: Prudence, Mazwi, Kumo, Daniel, who's coming in for the second time. Let me see. I don't want to leave someone out here. Kumo, yeah, Kumo has been here for a while. Kutala, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining these sessions. And I hope there is something you're taking away on a daily basis. But maybe you coming coming here every day proves that there is something that you're gaining. So, um, watch list wise, we are going to look at the dollar index. We're going to look at the USDCHF, Euro JPY. We're going to look at gold. On the equities market, we're going to look at US 30 or Dow Jones, and we are going to have a look at Bitcoin as suggested by one of you guys, CEO Lisa. Right. As usual, we are going to start with trading economics. I hope you guys can see that. This is refresh because this looks like yesterday's. Yeah. European area private sector growth stalls. So the market is, for the European market, it is not growing or it is neither shrinking. Let's look at US futures, lower on earnings. You guys do not trade futures. I do. US goods trade deficit narrow more than expected. So more bad news for the US dollar. We'll look at that. Canada new home prices unexpectedly declined in July. Canada is also a trading partner with the US. So more bad news from North America. Mortgage rates over 5 month low. MBA that must have been in the US to see more bad news for the dollar. We'll have a look at that. UK private sector growth accelerates in July. South Africa inflation rate eases to 6 month low. Interesting to see how the US dollar South African rand reacts to that. With fundamentals or news rather, by the time they get released, as you can see, 23 minutes ago, 39 minutes ago, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 3 days. By the time they are released, the market has already factored them in. Hence, I do not trade the news. However, I use them to have a brief idea of what's the potential direction on a particular pair. Now, let's look at forexfactory.com to see what news event to come out or that came out today. So we had a lot of PMI from the Eurozone today, including the UK. So for the Eurozone, as you can see, numbers red, it was relatively negative except for the UK and France. As you can see, the French flash PMI came out at 50.7, which is better than the focus and better than the previous value. When you want to know what this news are talking about, just come to this folder and open for details. So this measures the level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the service industry. If that's not making sense, you can continue reading lower. But if the actual is greater than the focus, it's good for the currency. It is released monthly around the third week into the current month. So what happens if it's above the 50.0 mark? It indicates an expansion in the industry. Below 50, it indicates a construction. So as you can see, we're at 50.7, minor expansion, but it still works. So as usual, we will start with a quote. This was supposed to be at the beginning. But yeah, let's go over it. There's so many quotes that I've been posting here. We will have to see which one we're looking at yesterday. I think it's the one of a rainy fund, a rainy day fund. So today's quote is, if you do not rush things and focus on the mechanical rule-based strategy, the market will tell you what to trade and when to trade on a weekly basis. I have so many testimonies about that. And yesterday I was on a call with one of you guys in this chat. We talked about this. And this has happened over the years. Um, when you collect your data, you do realize that, you know what, man, June, July are not really good months for my strategy. Well, personally, that is what has been happening year after year. And every time I'll be like, maybe let me try. And then what happens, you find that I ruin my funded account, or if I had back then when I was still trading full margin, I used to blow accounts. So you need to collect the feedback that you're getting from the market. It's called market biofeedback, and apply those insights to tweak your strategy. So there are three developmental stages of a trader, which is the mechanical stage and subjective stage and the intuition stage. So the mechanical is very important because then you're focusing on a limited number of elements to look at, and everything is rule-based. You do not apply any discretion. If it's not this, it's that. And if it's not that, you do not trade. So it's very important to have a mechanical rule-based strategy, which is something that we provide for our clients in the Wall Street Professional course. All right, let's jump into the markets to look at our watch list from the dollar index all the way to Bitcoin, right? Yeah, guys, I've been getting testimonials from some of you guys, and like I said, I appreciate the testimonials, but sometimes it gets a bit scary for me. When someone says, I've been with you on the on the sessions for 2 weeks, but I've made my first withdrawal in 3 years. I'd like to see it with my eyes. I don't believe it yet, but if there is something like that, I do appreciate it. Maybe the reason it's hard for me to believe it is because of how long it took me to get here, really. For everyone who's here, I don't think we need to waste time. We've been looking at the dollar index, and you guys know that we've been calling 105. We've been calling 105 for days. Um, oh, one of our regulars is just joining us. Let me see. Welcome, Eddie. Welcome, Eddie. I was wondering where you were. You haven't missed much. We just started on the dollar index. The dollar index we've all been looking at this week, and Eddie is one of our regulars as well. Shout out to Eddie. Um, yeah. Um, we're still looking for 105. We're still looking for this market to go to 105 and then drop a little bit further down. So we won't waste time on that. However, I'm going to repeat that, in the short term, which is something I do not advise because I also traded the extremes. It is less stressful for me that way. In the short term, you would consider a demand level here where the trend started. So the dollar index might come to 103, 875, and then push all the way up. I won't mark it for the reason that it is, in my eyes, in my rule-based strategy, which is something that we just talked about. It is not the right kind of entry. Let us look at USDCHF. We also looked at it yesterday. USDCHF. There we go. I feel like there's something brewing here. Also with USDCHF in the short term, we looked at it yesterday. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the ones that we looked at because we analyzed the same way, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much. So short-term buy to that area. I do not advise it. My perfect trade would be a sell. Why? Because the weekly, the monthly are bearish, but there are those people who like to scalp. Just know that you're risking it here so that when the market hits your stop loss, you do not get surprised. And always make sure that you apply your own discretion as far as risk management is concerned. Do not risk everything, just a small portion of your account, preferably anything between 0.5% to 2% of your account. And this can help you grow really in the long run. So with that said, let us move on to Euro JPY. move on to Euro JPY. Once again, there is some analysis that is there. However, I would like to start this one from scratch because I was doing it with the premium members, not with you guys. Just to show you that we apply the same tricks to analyze the market. The same tricks. All right. First things first, let's go on a monthly. I think there's a comment there. Moses says, Max, how to risk on your advice on $100 account. $100 account is very small. So if I would say 1%, the minimum margin requirement wouldn't allow you to do that. But I would say try risking 5% and only taking 2 trades at one go. Try risking 5% and risk that is $5. And with the strategy that we trade, let us imagine things went well and you are in profits in a 1:5 risk reward trade. Easily from that 5% times 5, you can make 25% of your account in one trade. Think about that. Instead of risking everything, how many times are you going to be funding $100 accounts and losing them, right? On a weekly, we're bearish as well, just like the monthly. Let's look at the daily. We are bearish as well, right? And then after this, I normally go to smaller time frames to look at what is happening. The daily, weekly, and monthly for me are for direction, okay? With this one right here, I would highly suggest we pay attention to this drop-based drop. Why? Because there was a big player here who got involved in the market. And let us step down further to smaller time frames to see how the market is behaving there. Absolutely. If you're trading this strategy, what is it called? ICT, you'd see some nice fair value gaps. If you're trading smart money concepts, let me see if I can do that. So if you're trading smart money concepts, there's that gap there. I hope it's clear. So that is a sign that there's a big player that's involved in this area. Let me shade that area with a rectangular strip so that we know what to focus on. So Euro JPY might be the trade of the day. It can also happen that the market comes back to it tomorrow, but as long as you have an idea. So this is our approach in the market. We take time studying our edge or refining our edge or knowing when we have an advantage in the market. We take time doing that. And we are very patient once we are able to identify that opportunity in the market. And when it comes for time for execution, we do that in a calm manner. Because if you are rushing things, instead of putting 0.10, you might put yourself putting one standard lot, and then you lose your account within seconds. It has happened to me so many times. So you guys need to be careful about that as well. So let us look at gold if everything is clear with this. Guys, we are running out of time. Already we're left with 10 minutes. We took too long to start. So risk reward ratio wise, if you're going to trade this one, stop loss above that area, I'm pretty sure it's going to give you a, 1:5 is 100% okay here. So let us look at gold quickly because I want to give you guys, let me say 10 minutes for questions. Last week we had an additional I think close to an hour session with other guys where they were able to ask questions, and it was a great conversation. I don't want to lie. So we are bullish on a monthly. Bullish on a monthly. Let us check on a weekly. Oops, almost made the normal blunder. Okay, let's try to zoom in here and see the candlestick. So we're also bullish on a weekly. I hope you guys can see that. On a daily, it's highly likely that we are bearish. Oh, we're also bullish here. Fantastic. So what does this mean? We're looking for buying opportunities only because the pressure is to the upside, so to speak. And then we will move to lower time frames again to see what really is happening. Yes, definitely I'll be looking for buying opportunities here, even though this looks like, to me, an area that we call fair value. However, should the market come down here to this level of 23, sorry, 2,375, almost use the American language, 2,300. Um, Let us step down to tier 1 hour to see what's happening with gold. Someone suggested that we look at BTC. Hopefully we'll get to that before we run out of time. As far as gold is concerned, if you are a scalper, I would say I don't recommend, but I think this area here, this area of 2,400, 2,395, sorry, 2,395, somewhere there. I think you can get a nice setup from there. Let's see. Risk reward ratio wise, where would we target? Personally, I'll just target these highs. I think gold needs to go back to 2,470 or above 2,450. It's just that according to my rules, this is an area that I'm not used to trading from. Otherwise, I'll target these areas. A nice 1:8 can really build your account. Remember, Mazwi, you have $100 account, you're trading 5% of that times 8, easily you've made 40% of your account. Think of this thing in percentages, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to save you a lot of time and stress, because trading can be very stressful. I'm sure you guys know by now. Let's check BTC USD. Let's go on a monthly as usual, to see the direction of this. But for the whole of last month, we've been bullish. I have some small cryptos that I'm holding that are following this, that have been doing well. So it's very important to diversify as a trader. I have a crypto portfolio. So we are bullish on a monthly, bearish on a weekly, bullish on a daily. Normally, I do not take trades like this where there's confusion, but we can take it based on the higher time frame, that being the daily, and try to look for buying opportunities on BTC. I do not know whether the gentleman who suggested this is scalping, but I normally look at the long term. Where are we going long term? So yeah, from here, what I see from Bitcoin is we need to visit the lows of 64,000. We need to visit the lows of 64,000 with Bitcoin. And yeah, if you'd get this one, I'm pretty sure it can give you, to the recent highs, I'm pretty sure it can give you a nice risk reward ratio. Let's see. Entry somewhere here, stop losses below our level, or demand level. Maybe if we target the market taking out that high, still you get a nice 1:5. Do not shoot for the fences, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, you can get something like a 1:10 and all of that if you're gonna hold it for the long term. Yeah, but in the short term, just take your profits here. I think you'll be good. With that said, let me leave this part for questions, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I was about to tell you, or did I tell you about the testimonials that I'm getting? I feel like some of you guys are guessing me up, in the sense that there is no way that I started these sessions last week and then someone saying they just made their first withdrawal this week in 3 years. I don't want to believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I still have asked for screenshots. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and share questions. Also, if there's something that you yeah, you want to ask, you want to suggest to the group, it's fine. Just don't ask people to join your mentorship and stuff like that. Kutala's phone and PC has been letting her down. She has left again. We've got 3 minutes, ladies and gents. I can respond to 3 questions in 3 minutes, 3 or 4 questions. Keep them coming. I'm waiting. Going once, going twice. Have you guys ever been in an auction? Anyone, ladies and gents? So yeah, Mazwi, I hope you were answered on that question on how to risk on $100 account. Okay. Any more questions? But just be patient with that $100 account. Don't shoot for the fences. Focus on 2 trades a day. Moving your stop losses above or to break even whenever you're in profit. I'd say if you're aiming for a 1:5, once the market is at a 1:3, move your stop loss from the original region into break even, and so that you can have enough margin to take another trade. You're not worried about that trade going into a loss because it might reduce your margin, because now you're in profit. Just lock in something. Only thing that I'm struggling with is being patient, and you have been blowing a lot. I'll tell you one thing that changed my profitability in trading. I got tired of my own, I'm sorry to say, my own bullshit. What's the point of rushing? What's the point of rushing? And look at you. You said you've been blowing, and that you means you're tired of blowing. So you have to change something. You have to change something. Be more patient. Eddie says, how long should I stay in a trade before I know it's better or close it than to wait? Well, we're different traders, Eddie. Some traders trade based on time. For me, it's all about structure and the process. For instance, should maybe Bitcoin come down in this manner and then I execute here and it pushes higher a bit, I won't confirm whether it's a good trade or not. I will start getting worried once it comes not near my stop loss. Even then, I won't remove my stop loss. But once it starts doing this and beating previous lower highs, then I know that we're going to come down a bit and then go further up. It's all about understanding the process. We do not really have control, or there's no way we can know whether a trade is good while we're in it. The only time we can recognize that it is prior to entering the trade. Once you're in it, yes, sometimes we make mistakes. It's very important to cut your losses early. But once you're in the trade, your stop loss set, target set, just wait for it. Kutala, you're joining us. I think we'll have less than seconds before this session expires. I'm really sorry. Hit me up on my number. You should have my number. I think I sent it.